Shalom, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, and Barak Yahushai. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that taught us His word. Also, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, across the planet Earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and in truth. As you already know, least of the flock is drawing them out. The Israelis launched a military missile campaign against, Iranian nuclear sites, So, yeah, we're moving closer to this World War III, to this ultimate destruction, but ultimately to the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. All these prophecies are playing out, man. This has been a crazy year. We're halfway through the year, and so much has happened. We got pretty much martial law. Not fully martial law yet, but there's Marines patrolling the streets of Los Angeles. You got people being detained and deported. They're getting cast out of their houses, casted out of their places of employment. They're getting casted and taken from their schools. In schools, and ICE agents are coming for them, snatching up kids at schools and snatching up fathers and husbands, at the job sites. So yeah, that's a very small scale, but it's going to increase even more. It's called the time of Jacob's trouble. Also, you have that hour of temptation where the mark of the beast is going to get pushed. It's digital currency. You won't be able to buy anything or sell anything at least you have the mark. If you take that mark, you're going to get caught up in the outcome of this World War III, which is nuclear destruction or some type of death that the Lord's going to have for you. But yeah, just a few articles, current events that's going on. You all know Iran got bombarded, and I think they launched a retaliatory attack with drones, but that was nothing. The big thing is going to be, when Russia gets involved and when the U.S. gets involved. As of right now, the U.S. is saying that they're not going to participate in it, but scriptural wise, it's going to happen. Russia's going to be a guard unto Iran. This is out of AlJazeera.com. It's pretty up to date today. Live sirens sound across Israel. But just live reports says the Israeli military continues to launch waves of strikes against Iranian military and nuclear sites. President Donald Trump says it's not too late for Tehran to halt the bombing campaign to reach a deal. Yeah, I was always talking about some type of deal, man. This is biblical prophecy, man. These angels are working in the minds of these leaders to do this. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah, has warned Israel that it must expect severe punishment following the crime, which is bullshit. They're always talking about how they're going to enact some type of revenge and never do it. We're going to know when it gets, thrust into full gear. It's when Russia gets involved, when the U.S. gets involved, that's when it's going to. Prime Minister Netanyahu says military operations will continue as long as necessary. So yeah, they're moving forward with this thing, man. So the United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the U.S. is not involved. But they will be involved, man. Scripture, at least the flock, man, is drawing them out. There's photos of Iran launching missile attack in Tel Aviv. So yeah, it looks like Iran blasted back. But didn't really do anything. That Iron Dome defense system intercepted missiles over Tel Aviv. They have that Iron Dome missile defense system, but that's not going to stop the missiles being launched from America when the nuclear missiles touch down on Israel, man. That Iron Dome ain't gonna do nothing with that. Because the Spirit of the Lord is gonna be in the missiles. None shall break their ranks, as the scriptures say. Next scriptures out of Sputnik News, uh, SputnikGlobe.com. Uh, Israeli strikes hit Iranian capital. IDF says attacked nuclear and military officials. Yeah, a few of the high-ranking military officials were assassinated, man. So it's getting, you know, the Axios news portal reported Thursday, citing sources that Air Force has struck targets on Iran. Uh, yeah, same old thing. Uh, yeah, it says Israeli army stated that on Thursday it completed its first phase of the operation against Iran's nuclear program. Iranian nuclear and military officials were targeted. So yeah, a few of the high-ranking members were killed, man. It's at the BBC. Who were the Iranian commanders killed in Israel's attack? Dated a couple hours ago. Yeah, this guy Mohammed uh, was the highest-ranking military officer in Iran. So the high command, man, he took out the whole top command, being the chief of staff of Iran's armed forces. Chief of staff, man. And then Soleimani, he was commander in chief of the IRGC. IRGC just stands for Islamic Revolutionary Guards. So the military, man, the commander in chief was taken out. Also, this guy, uh, Rashid. Rashid was the head of the IRGC's central headquarters, which coordinates joint Iranian military operations. And this guy, Amir, he was commander of the Aerospace Force, prominent figure in charge of the country's missile program. And this guy, he's a nuclear scientist. So yeah, the top command, was taken out. So yeah, it's a serious deal. But that's just prophecy coming to pass. But just like I said, they're gonna keep doing it. So moving forward. Says Prime Minister Netanyahu says military operation will continue as long as necessary. Until the elected's woken up. Man, it's gonna get serious. But this is all biblical prophecy. Ezekiel 38:2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Prophesy against them. Yeah, Gog and Magog is the land of Russia today. So speaking of the Russians, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horse and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And this came back. This came to pass. He turned them back, put hooks in their jaws. That's trying to rebuild that Soviet army, in which they're doing right now. With the invasion of Ukraine, the invasion of Crimea a few years ago. That's what that represented, man. They're trying to bring back that old Soviet, all those countries back together. Putin. So this prophecy came to pass, man. It's in progress right now. Was it Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, all with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Yeah, Persia. That's Iran today. That's talking about Iran. Gomer, all his bands, House of Togarmah, North Quarters, and all his bands, and many people with him. Asia Minor, Turkey. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia's going to be a guard unto Iran and these little Middle Eastern nations. Supreme leader talking about, expect severe heat, and Iran ain't gonna do nothing. It's gonna be, Russia's gonna come in and save the day, protect them. They've been getting their nuclear scientists and military guys, been killing them dudes for years now, man. It's gonna get to a point to where Russia's gonna say enough is enough, mainly when the U.S. gets involved. But you know that time of Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Therefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all the faces turn to paleness. Yeah, that's how bad, man. It's gonna be like, men are out here giving birth to children, all that pain and that confusion, that's gonna happen. Like it did unto men giving, birth pains, man. The scripture says, the mighty men is gonna cry there bitterly in that day, man. The last for that day is great. That's Jeremiah 30:6. Jeremiah 30:7. The last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So no day is going to be like the day that's coming, man. We're seeing it on a very low scale, man. ICE raids, bringing in the National Guard. Trump and his administration are all on code. I believe the governor, Gavin Newsom, he sued. Basically, he went to a judge and sued, put on a lawsuit saying that the deployment of the National Guard was wrong. He wanted authority given back to the state, back to him. And then a judge granted that, agreed. But then you had the appeals court. They were like, no, the National Guard is going to stay right where they are under Trump. So Trump has his, people that are on code. These other people got people that are with him, So it's going to be all out chaos. We've seen it. We've never seen anything like this before within the government. You have this Senator Alex Padilla. They wrestled him to the ground. They don't give a damn about you being a senator. They're moving forward with this New World Order. Talking about, I'm the senator, Alex. How dare y'all do this to me? I don't give a damn that you're a senator. They're moving forward with this. It's gonna be like a time for that. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Yeah, the elect is gonna be saved out of it, man. The elect is gonna be delivered. The elect is gonna be protected, man, in that day. The ones that endured right to the end, ultimately the ones, that'll be written in the book. The Lord's elect. At the end of the day. Like scripture, so things are heating up, but it just proves or just lets us know that the elect is almost there, man. Once all hell starts to break loose, that's what we're gonna know. The elect has been sealed. It's go time, man. Mainly when that chip is pushed, in full swing, when that's made mandatory. When the U.S. invades Iran, when Russia comes to be a guard unto them. So there's only a couple more prophecies left, man. This is Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four winds, or standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Yeah, the wind is talking about the destruction now. I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the wind power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So yeah, man, the angels are controlling all this, man, working on these leaders, these minds, mainly holding back that destruction until the elect has been sealed. And then you can push that ship, The elect has to hear this word first, man. The elect has to hear the word. The elect has to be woken up and told, hey, man, not to take that chip, man. The Lord said not to take it. The Lord said never fear, neither doubt. The Lord is your guide. The elect needs to hear that. It needs to be sealed in their mind and their foreheads with this truth and with the names of Yahweh, the son's name is Yahweh Shai, so that they can pray under those names, so that they can be protected, you know. But yeah, I said, hurt not the earth, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, so the missiles aren't going to, launch off until the elect's woken up. Once the elect woken up, all hell's going to break loose, man. And we're close. You can tell we're close. Zephaniah 1:14. That great day of the Lord is near. It is near. It hastened greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly, man. Just like we read in Jeremiah, man. The mighty man's going to cry there bitterly. That's how bad it's going to be. All these Marines, military guys, these tough guys out here, they're going to cry there bitterly, man. That's how bad it's going to get. The Lord said, give them warning from me. What warning? Warning of this time of Jacob's trouble, and warning of this destruction, this chip being pushed, man. It's a serious deal that's coming out. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a day of distress, a day of wrath. The Lord's indignation, man. A day of trouble, a day of distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness, gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, man. That destruction, man. Even before the destruction, it's like a day like no other, man. The martial law, the invasion that's going to happen in America. Getting casted out of your houses on a large scale, in detention camps, concentration camps, getting your heads cut off, man. It's going to be like a day like no other. It's a day, like I said here at last, for the day is great, so that none is like it. No other day can compare to the day that's coming up, man. Back in Zephaniah 1:16, the day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men. They shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, Yahweh Shai. And the blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung to this day. Really, it's for the Israelites, man. For 2/3 of our wicked of our people, man. 2/3, because they have sinned against the Lord. They shall walk around. They shall bring distress upon men, and I will bring distress upon men. The Lord's going to bring this destruction, man. Esau ain't doing it. These other nations ain't doing it. The Lord is doing it. The Lord is the author of all this. He's the engineer, the ultimate engineer, the ultimate script writer, the script. The Lord is bringing all this destruction. That's why he said, never fear, neither doubt, for the Lord is your guide, man. Whatever situation that you're put in, it's Yahweh Shai. It's the Lord that put you in that situation, man. And I will bring distress upon men. They shall walk around like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh Shai, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speed riddance of all of them that dwell in the land. Yeah, no matter how much money you got. Scriptures say they that labored in vain. Took up all this time to build up these businesses and build up your career. All that money you made, it ain't gonna save you. Money's gonna be worthless, man. That's not gonna be able to deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. Even if you take that chip, it ain't gonna deliver you. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, man. What's that talking about? Some of that nuclear destruction, man. The whole land, scripture said, the 10th part of the city fell. It was a great earthquake. So the entire land is going to be destroyed, man. Of America, as well as Israel. But Israel's going to be built back up again. We should make a speed riddance of all of them that dwell in the land. Yeah, for 1 hour. It's only going to take an hour. for this place to be destroyed. But yeah, a lot has happened in the past, couple days. We're only halfway through this year. We just got three more years left, under this Trump administration, man. So Lord, very well, man, could make his return real soon, man. We could see the end real soon. With that, shalom.